Okay, so we are restarting the chapter, and chapter 7, here are the best choices of this chapter. Okay, so here's this one. We decided to jump down onto the lower walkway, in which case we got our legs fucked up, and we got the, what is it called, essentially lost life and got caught. And this, if we use our sword, we will still get caught, I believe, but we'll also just lose life in general, and a lot more life than we lost last time. And that the 3 life we lost from falling down is, you're supposed to lose that. Doesn't matter how well you play or what choice you pick, you will lose 3 life at least. So we are going to talk your way out of trouble, which was the most absurd choice I could have made, but it works somehow. But talk your way out of trouble. You turn and show your empty hands. Behind you are 4 towering figures in billowing robes with deep cowls hiding their face and exposed giant razor-sharp talons your hands should be. A few lies come to mind. You could say you're a priest of Thog. Another alternative is to say that you have been looking for the textile market, have gotten lost. While you can say you're an agent of the Duke on business of the Duke. So I think the best one, which will give us the most favor, is the priestess of Thog. So we're gonna go with that. You straighten up and adopt what you hope is a haunty expression. I am a priestess. Priestess? Or priest? I've taken the shape of this absurdly handsome commoner. You will approach me respectfully, preferably as the groveling worms that you are. Okay, so he's acting as if he's the priestess and taken the form of this guy and calling himself absurdly handsome commoner. Maybe overdid it there, you think. Name calling was probably unneeded. Fleshly, glistening pink extends from the cowl of one of the figures. Draw back your tongue, snake, you shout. You will not mock a mistress of Thog. The cloak figures begin to advance towards you, testing the air. You wonder. It's unclear if they're buying it. Now might be the time to make your escape by jumping. On the other hand, maybe you can convince them. Indeed, maybe your deceit has already worked. Who can tell with these creatures? Anyway, we're going to get caught. We have already seen what happens when we jump down, so we might as well get an achievement. Keep the shroud. Push your luck. Push it real good. I do not get the reference. Whatever. I do not get the reference, unfortunately. The cloak figures continue to advance. Your claws clicking like hungry teeth. Gurgling noises bubble from their chest. You stink. You hear your voice rising with your fear. I command you to keep your distance. The nearest one halts less than a meter away. Okay, there goes my life. I don't know how I lost my life. Let's see. You're supposed to lose this life, by the way. You choose the better part of the valor, turn and sprint out onto the bridge leading towards the center dial. It's another catwalk which crossed beneath the one you're on. It's a long jump, but you think you can make it. The hideous creatures swarm you with outstretched claws and piercing screams. So essentially the same thing, you just jump down and break your knees. Okay. So here's the one. You will exchange 1 life for 1 favor. I do not require, 1 life for 1 morale. If it was 1 life for 1 favor, I would have definitely taken it. But it's 1 life for 1 morale. So I'm gonna go with rooster instead of dragon. There is little sense in taking a beating to withhold your name. They would simply torture it out of you anyway. You decide to tell the truth and avoid any possible pain. With a sullen expression, you tell her, "People call me Rooster." She snorts, "A filthy common name for a common thief." "I'm an exceptional thief," you tell her with more courage than you feel. That's funny. We have already done this one. Let's see what this one does. Yes, I am afraid will do nothing for me. And all the other ones give me morale and take 1 life. I've already done this one. All angry women frighten me. I'm gonna go with this one, which is also going to no wait, it's going to lose me life though. I don't want to lose life just yet. So I'm gonna go with yes, I'm afraid. Alright, because she says that anyway. Yes, I am afraid, you tell her. Is that what you want to hear? She throws back her head and laughs. It is cold and brutal laugh. Of course you are. All the loathsome creatures fear the minions of Thogs, and rightly. You will die here, thief. Okay, so this one is this is the one where we're getting kissed by Melith, and in which case we can kiss Melith. Pull away will lose 2 life. We will still lose life if we kiss Melith, but we'll also gain favor and achievement, I believe. So we'll go with that. Let's kiss Melith. Reckless lad, naughty to the point of reckless. Ha! The software knew you were going to do this eventually. Fucking hell. The software knew. Fucking hell. You lean into the kiss. Might as well make the best out of it. Perhaps if your kissing skills are on the mark, she will change her mind about killing you. You respond in kind, pulling you deeper into the kiss, running eager hands over your body. With your eyes closed, you forget that her flesh is carved with arcane symbols. You actually find yourself enjoying the kiss. She has talented lips. Then you feel her teeth ripping at your mouth. Pain marches up your body as if in armored regiments. Yeah, we already read all this. A hungry light dances between her cold eyes. She looks you over, and a low growl escapes her escapes her throat. You awaken desires within me, commoner. You stifle your pain and turn your head slightly to highlight your most handsome side. Surrender to my love, you tell her. Order these guards to release, and I'll take you away from here. These words do not come easily to you. All you want to do is drink 2 pints of hardest liquor you can find, vote to clean your wounds, and to forget their kiss. A bitter smile turns up her lip. I'm afraid not. My loyalty to Thog is complete. Take his clothes, she orders. You curse underneath your breath. Bonebrow gives you a curious look. You shrug. It was worth a shot. That's funny. That is way too funny. Bonebrow is like, what the fuck, dude? Really? It's like, I'm worth a shot. Fucking hell. Okay, here's the choice, which I did the correct option, which was kick the guard's leg while he was falling off of the edge. So let's kick the guard's leg. You lash. Yeah, I already read all this because I did this option. This was the correct choice, which we turned from it because I thought it was gonna, bite our crotch, but he did not because he's the minion of the trickster god. So let's turn from it like we did last time and break our ties. This was not the correct option. We went with punch Melee, which did give us morale, but it also took away life. So we're gonna flee with Bonebrow straight up. Which way, you shout? There are guards and priestesses and scribes everywhere, screaming, snatching and swinging weapons. Bonebrow begins running down into a walkway that appears to have less enemies than the others. You stop just long enough to see tentacles burst off Melee's skin. One tentacle wraps around the scribe, ripping at her leg. Bonebrow is now several meters away. You're about to run after him when you notice the holy symbol. Okay. So this is the same from then on out. This was the correct option. Swim away. This was the correct option. Swim away as fast as you can. So here's the option where we hid behind the pillar, but this time we're going to prostrate ourselves before the statue and act like we are praying to it, which will give us favor. As a youngster in your hometown, more than once you prostrated yourself before the idol of gods. You always did this as a joke, however, something to make your friends howl with laughter, to demonstrate your bravery. Of course, those gods were the good gods, the ones purported to have a sense of humor. Thor probably has no sense of humor, you think. Nonetheless, at least you have some experience at fake worshipping, so you can find it natural to throw yourself onto the floor before the statue, your arms outstretched, your rump in the air, your body trembling as though in rapture. Thog, overlord over all the great squids of ocean, pleasures of mermaid and merman, and the loftiest of fish, you moan. Somewhere inside you there is a stirring from Egra. Do you like my prayer, you ask her. There is no answer, but you're pretty sure she does. The sounds of that's so funny. The sound of footsteps gets louder, and soon you tell by the echo that more than one person or creature is now in the chamber. You repeat your made-up prayer, certain that soon you will die. You hope Egra's father takes your soul before Thog finds it, right? That would be a better option if we go to Egra's father, honestly. Probably not going to end well for us, but at least not as bad as Thog. The footsteps suddenly stop. A moment later, a hissing sound of breathing begins. You sneak a peek from your prone position. Two cloaked figures stand near the center of the chamber to the side of the statue. There are only 5 or so meters from you. In the flickering red light from the nearby fire, you can see their faces under their cowls. No nose or eye sockets, only toothless mouths, enormous tongues strike to outwards like snake. They stand motionless, watching you, the chest rising and frail as though taking deep breaths. Tasting me, you wonder. No, smelling you. People do animals do smell with the tongue. You spot movement behind the cloaked monster. The scrag is high above, scrolling upside down along a wooden ceiling rafter. Right, it is surprised. Yeah, I've already read all this. So we went into a completely different sort of situation with these options. So we're gonna go back to praying. You suspect the scrag is up to mischief. Hopefully that mischief will be in your favor. For your part, you will just try to delay these tongue-wielding monsters, give the little demon on the ceiling time. You go back to praying. However, you change your prayer to something that you hope is more suitable to your audience. Mighty Thog, your greatness is so very great. Your power is so very powerful. Meanwhile, you still hear the hissing from the cloaked ones nearby. No footsteps, though. Can they not bring themselves to attack a mine while he's worshipping their god? You wonder, or perhaps they're just confused. Just then, there's a boom. The ground shake. Yeah, we already read all this. You look up to see gore on the floor. Yeah, there's a little bit difference, I guess. Where one of the cloaked monsters had been. There's a large block of stone on top of his body. The other creature looks up as the scrag lands on him with a slab of flesh against flesh, slamming the cloaked figure to the floor. If the scrag was injured by the impact of what must have been 20 meters fall, it does not show it. Rather, it claws and bites at the face of his prey with shrieks of glee. The face is on the floor. The mace is on the floor. I was a face on. We already read all this, so let's go back. So here's one. We should have ducked, which would have not taken any life away, but we're gonna catch him because that would lose us a life but will give us a favor. So I would like to get as much favor with what is the name? Fuck, what is the name? Egra, right. We need to get as much favor with Egra as possible. So let's catch him. An ally in this foul place, you think, as you extend your arms. The beast leaps onto your arms. It is very painful catch. His logs dig into your flesh, cutting you. No claws, you shout. In response, it slaps you in the face. Shocked by the sting, you lessen your grip, and the beast comes out of your arms, climbs onto your shoulder. You grab one arm of the little... Yeah, it's fine. Okay, this is good enough. Yeah, we all read all this. We're gonna continue charging like last time we did. This was the correct option. So apparently the best option was to throw your mace at the imposter. Fucking hell. So we're gonna just chuck our mace at it. Let's see what that does. Mace thrower. I haven't done exhaustive research on this, but I'm quite certain that there has never been in the history of gaming a mace thrower achievement. You and my fine player have found it and may now die happy. By the way, in our paladin books, there is an option to throw your maces and a few choices. Do it. Although you will not get this achievement. Yeah, that's fine. I will play the paladin's choice later. You have the high ground and the element of surprise. For a moment you take aim, then you throw your weapon and the mace hurls through the air, end over end. The heavy mace slams into the face of the imposter. Kleshasha? Shouts the imposter in a guttural voice as the doppelganger staggers from the blow. Bonebrow, you shout. Bonebrow looks up at you. His eyes are wide. His jaw is slack. Kill the imposter, you shout. He turns back to the imposter who has begun charging towards him. Bonebrow puts up a shield in time, slamming the imposter back. You consider jumping. Yeah, we already read all this. He killed her then. So here we did the clear leap, whatever. So leap clear. So we got a 1 morale from dodging the poison darts. But we're gonna push Bonebrow clear because apparently that's not gonna hit us either or something. But we'll see. Let's push Bonebrow clear. With panther-like reflex, you slam onto Bonebrow. He stumbles forward with a surprised grunt. At the same time, your telltale poof warns you of poison darts. The dart clings off the far wall. Bonebrow looks down at the fallen dart. Did you mean to save me from a dart aimed at you? You're welcome, you say sarcastically. I did not know the nature of the trap, only that it was sprung. Bonebrow is silent for a moment, then he claps his shoulder. Gratitude, he says with a nod. Alright. Okay, so this one we are going to go with try the ruse because apparently that will get us favor. Gonna try the ruse. I say we try the ruse, you say. Perhaps it will at least get us close enough to the guard to strike by surprise. Very well, says Bonebrow. To be sure, I'm clear. I'm posing as a priestess, posing as me, and you are my prisoner. Yes, you say. As the captain of the guard, I expect you have experience escorting prisoners. Bonebrow nods. I do. He points at the mace in your hands. And in my experience, prisoners are not armed. You sigh and hand him the mace. I may need that back soon. Bonebrow tucks the weapon in his belt, slings his shield over his shoulder. He grabs you by the arm. One more thing, you whisper, pulling away. You take the amulet off your neck. You're surprised by how easy it is to do this. Egra's not fighting you. Maybe she is just letting you take it off, or maybe she is just hiding it. She's just hiding. After tucking the amulet deep into your soggy trouser pocket, you offer your arm to Bonebrow. He jerks you along. Okay, the two of you emerge out of hiding. You struggle in Bonebrow's iron grasp as he pulls you along. The cloaked guard turns his cowl towards you. Now you can see softly glowing orange eyes focused on you. As you get nearer, the guard pulls out from the folds of his cloak a whip studded with spikes. The long tail of the whip slams down on the stone floor with a clink. Do you mean to threaten your supervisor with that toy? Asks Bonebrow. His voice is confident, even arrogant. You're impressed. The guard does not answer, but instead steps into the middle of the hall, blocking the way. Thog never threatens, says a woman's voice. Thog never threatens, says a woman's voice. A bald woman, naked from the waist up, nearly identical to Maleth, steps out from behind a column near the guard. Thog kills or does not kill. Threats are for the weak. Are they? I mean, threats are quite fun, I would say. I mean, Thog is very boring if that's the case. Fucking hell. Do not lecture me about Thog, shouts Bonebrow, the priestess, seemingly not at all surprised by her appearance. He turns back to the guards. I've taken the form of that oaf, captain of guard, this one. He says, shaking your arm. I will throw into the dungeon and take his form later if Thog wishes it. This is such a drafty temple. Don't you get cold, you say to the priestess. This is such a drafty temple. Don't you get cold, you say to the priestess. Egra might enjoy this thing, you think. You wonder if she's having a good show from your pocket. Moreover, you hope Egra's father is pleased. Despite what is probably imminent death, you can't help but feel a certain thrill inside you. You see us now, O her god of trickster. I pray you favor you fools. Oh, that's way too funny. Do you see us now, O her god of tricksters? I pray you favor you fools. Cold, heat, or even death is nothing to a slave of Thog, says the priestess. I was only suggesting a hat, you say. You can tell me all about Thog and slavery or a pint of ale at the leering Virgin Inn. You give her bare chest a pointed look. Now I think even in the outer ring, you may have to find a top to wear. And silence, she says in a hiss. You plan to keep speaking, but something in her voice clamps your mouth shut. She turns her attention to Bonebrow. This feeble attempt at deception is insulting. Do you think I do not know my own sister, even when she wears the skin of another? You hear the rasp of iron tooth whip sliding against stone nearby. Thog favors me with a skin that even his own slaves cannot see through, says Bonebrow. You cannot help but be impressed with the confidence in his voice. An experienced actor, you think. The priestess's mouth turns to a snarl. Blasphemer, she nods to the guards, but Bonebrow has already let go of your arm in a motion. You hear the clink of chain from his flail. Your mace falls to the floor near your feet. Bonebrow must have tried to hand it to you, however he is now whirling in combat. The priestess steps towards you. Bulges rises in her naked torso. Tentacles, you realize. What do? Apparently, let's see, if we do this, we're gonna need... Yeah, I think the best one is to attack with bare hands. It would not get us too far, but it should get us far enough. With those tentacles about to erupt from bodies, there's no time to retrieve your weapon. You must hit her now. Besides, it's not the first time gotten into an unarmed scrape. You lunge forward and knee her in the stomach, closely followed with an elbow to the face. She staggers back, blood flowing from her nose. You keep close, raining down blows, trying to press your advantage. The next thing you know, tentacles are around you, one around your leg and the one around your throat. You cannot breathe. There's a blow to the back of your head, probably another tentacle. She's overpowering you. It's now obvious you cannot beat her with brute strength. Two options come to your mind. You have the amulet in your pocket. You can pull it out and yeah, you've already did all this. So we're gonna pull out the amulet, and this is the correct choice for that. I mean, we did this choice and died, and then we went for the correct choice, to be precise. Climb the gate, which is the correct option. The other options are all trash, except for the blackmail one, which is get us killed, because we're gonna be like, you're gay, and he's gonna be like, fuck you. Essentially, I'm dumbing it down, but essentially, hand him the amulet. We already did all this, so that does it for this chapter. And we got 650 plus, so we got exactly 650 actually. We got the fearless, cunning, and lovable rogue. I have a question. Actually, I have a thing in my mind right now. I'm thinking of doing a very dumb thing. I'm thinking of going back all the way from the start of the chapter and doing this all over again. But this time, I will not... Every single choice I make, I'm going to pour my luck into upgrading my health. What I'm trying to do here is using my luck to essentially get myself to above 100 health points, if that even is possible. And once I get above 100 health points, I could possibly what I could do was is get to one of those death points, one of the death checks, and when I get to a death check, I will do the death check, lose 100 life, and somehow still live if my health is above 100. But I'm guessing the health must be locked at 100. Yeah, I'm not gonna try that. I want to try that, but I will have to play the entire chapter again, because these stats carry on to the next chapter. Then if I did that one, my stats would be low, in which case I will have to carry that on to the next chapter, and it would be absurd. Let's say if I did not die and I had like 90 health around, and I just carried on to the next chapter, that would be absurd, because then that would make the next chapter very unfair and totally in my advantage to play it. So, and I'm trying not to do that, so I'm not gonna do that, even though I kind of want to, but I'm not gonna put in the effort for that and then replay the entire chapter again. That would take too fucking long. So we're gonna just stick with this, and we're just gonna assume that you cannot go above 100 health, and you will always die if you go for a death check option. Alright, on to the next chapter.